So I just wanted to take a minute to talk about some aspects that I think are kind of important. On the supercharger that's used, in my case it was from my 2020 GT500, but it's the same from 20 to 22. The Raptor R is the same unit, aside from pulley. A couple minor, very minor changes were made. The GTD and the 2026 Dark Horse SC. But what I want to get at is, you take the lid off, you take all the bolts off and whatnot, you're at this point. You take off your lid, you got your intercooler brick, and you've got these guys on each side to reinforce it, hold it down. You take the intercooler brick off. Now if you notice, mine was very clean. This is how it came out. There's no oil in it. So that separator is on the track pack or the handling pack, or whatever you've got, absolutely works. This thing has a few drops of oil at most down in the valley in here once you take the intercooler brick off. So I was really thankful for that. But what I wanted to talk about was the importance with respect to the bypass valve. Now, I didn't know it previously, but there's actually a tool, I guess you could say, to adjust it, but to set it. I got this from superchargersonline.com. They're, I think, the only authorized distributor or rebuilder of the Eaton superchargers. So Eaton only authorizes them, so I got it from them. But you get this bracket if you buy this from Ford. Kind of expensive. And I didn't have it, and I just made some changes to my 20, and I thought maybe I should get that because I don't have the dimension from, let's say, the bottom of the bracket to this notch, whatever it is. There's no number. So I knew there had to be preload involved, where the rod goes up into the plunger, but you have no idea how much. So again, this would come with it if you bought it from Ford, but I had to get this. And it wasn't cheap, like, I don't know, it was $13 or something like that, don't quote me. And then shipping for a piece of plastic, maybe 99 cents, 50 cents, 20 cents, whatever it is. So the idea is, when you put this on, again, there needs to be some preload. And preload because the valve in the valley of the supercharger has to be closed under boost, but open, for example, when you're idling. So let me get closer and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So first, it's like down in the valley, I have very minimal amount of oil, maybe the equivalent of a few drops that you see on these ribs. And again, the intercooler brick was clean as could be. But what I wanted to talk about was this guy. Again, you want it closed under boost, and you want it open to not build boost under high vacuum conditions. And this is the guy that gets it done. So again, the bracket slides on to this metal bracket that stays with the valve, slides in, and the bottom of it here engages this little notch, if you can see that. So you slip it on, and it's not very exacting, but you go up with the plunger and into the bracket. If you can see that. Right, where is it? Right there. Now, how much does it actually have to move to go up and be seated? If you watch that little niche on the arm, I take it out. It's like nothing. It's like barely anything at all. Now it's back in. And now it's out. This is not a precision fit piece, which is kind of disappointing, because what I wanted to get was the dimension, how far you have to push it up and then seat it like that. Again, I don't even think it's 1/8 of an inch, but it gives it preload, and I'll show you why that's important. So there's the butterfly valve that we're talking about. It's fully shut. There's a shaft through it, comes through the supercharger, a little bracket, a little arm, hits a set screw. You don't touch a set screw. Eaton set that up, just leave that alone. But the important thing is that this arm hits that set screw. And again, when it does, the valve is shut and you could build boost. Alright, so if you took your valve off like I did, again, you don't know where it needs to be. So I've got it loosely bolted in place with the 2 bolts, screws that go through it. I mean, I know it had to have preload, but look. Is that too much? Is that too little? So put the bracket in place, slide it in, and then engage that notch that's on the other side back in here. That's it. That's where it goes. And now you just tighten these bolts and then take the bracket off. So kind of hold it to ensure that it's touching the set screw. Take the bracket off, the arm stays where it's supposed to be, where that notch is. And I should have the proper amount of preload on that valve. So again, close to build boost, open under high vacuum. So these hoses will pull a vacuum in here, opens the bypass, butterfly opens. But if it's not set right, and I learned that, if it's not set right, the car doesn't run that good. It'll pop, lose a little bit of power, but the bracket is the key to getting you there, this expensive little piece of plastic. Now just to see, I put it on my own car, I had to take PCV hose off. It goes to the oil separator, and you have clear access to be able to put the bracket onto the bypass valve in the car. So mine was actually, I had guessed right, and it lined right up to where it was supposed to be. But my point is that you can slide the bracket, I don't know if I can do it with one hand, on and off in the car with the valve in place. So all good there.